So you remember how I told you, like, on other videos, how in lieu of this being a story or my journey of being married to my narcissistic ex-husband, I give y'all like traits and red flags and stuff like I point out in my stories. So this is another one. So now we are back together again, and just like every narcissist does, they start off really great in the beginning. You know, like I told y'all on the other story, how I was super glad that he was actually there, because I couldn't even put my arms over my head with them blood clots in my lungs that I ain't know nothing about until I got to the hospital. But they always come back, okay? Dr. Hyde always comes back from Dr. Jekyll, okay? And they begin to manifest again, and this would be no different. Okay, welcome to Receive and Relate. If this is your first time here, my name is Tara Walker. I am so glad you clicked on this episode for story time. If you are a returning subscriber or a returning visitor, hey y'all, hey. So he is definitely back to the old ways again, you know, to the evil and demonic word cursing and angry at me all the time, hollering at me all the time, faking at church, you know what I'm saying, acting one way at church, and a whole different way behind closed doors. He even, this is not even part of this episode, but let me just throw this in here real quick, because I just remembered. The narcissist, oh my goodness, man, that spirit is something else. It's a trip. My sister basically like decorated my apartment for me when I moved in there, because her husband and her children and one of my female friends' husband all was the ones that helped me move in. But because my sister has this is my birth sister, my eldest birth sister, she has a kind of a gift and a talent for decorating, right? She has a good Afro interior design, and so I had my own furniture or whatever, and she decorated my apartment and I actually liked where she put stuff, you know. The Bama had a problem. When he moved in, he had an attitude because she did it. Not that it looked nice. And a lot of people hadn't come on my apartment because I didn't want a lot of people. But the people that came to my apartment, they all loved it. And some people didn't want to leave. I remember one girl, she sat laid on the couch, went to sleep, didn't want to get up and leave. She was like, it's so peaceful and calm in here. I was like, girl, you don't understand, because the Holy Ghost, okay, resides in here. But anyway, that was before he moved in. I was hanging with these people for a minute. How many these people I met? Anyway, he had a problem just because she did it. It wasn't that it was nice. It wasn't that it wasn't nice. It was just the problem that he did it. So he wanted to rearrange the whole apartment just because he wanted to do it, you know, or just because she did it. Just ridiculous for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that's one of them times I was like, no, I put my foot, and he got mad at me. I was like, no, it's done. I like it the way I like it the way it is. It's been that way for December, January, February, March. He moved himself back in around March, April. So I had been living there that way, like the way it is for like about 4 months or so. I liked it just like it was. So we got into a big argument about that. Anyway, though, I just wanted to just kind of just give y'all a feel of where things is going now. So there would be times, you know, that he would get on my nerves so much, I just would just go in my room and just, you know, watch TV, be by myself. And then he got a problem with that. If I was in there watching TV, let's say more than 2 hours or so, or even more than an hour, you know, he had a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? He'll start making little references or calling me lazy or something like. And I'm like, first of all, again, how am I lazy when I'm the one that works a 9 to 5? Brings in the groceries, money, pays the bill, everything in this house, including apartment, and now including you again, taking care of you again, a grown man. And so I have a right, if I have a weekend off, which I had weekends off, but I'm saying if I don't have nothing else to do, I have a right to lay up in my bed and chill out. I need peace from you Sometimes I have a right to do that. That has nothing to do with being lazy. If I'm cooking, cleaning, or going to the grocery store and paying these bills, I have a right to rest sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But he would have an issue with me just sitting there watching TV. But this particular day was a little bit different. So because I know how he rolls, when he came in there, because that the door closed. He ain't like that neither. Oh my gosh, we got into a big argument about that too one time before. He didn't like me being in clothes. What if I went into my closet to pray? You know what I'm saying? And that's why the door was closed. He didn't like that. Why you? Because I had I'm telling you, I love that apartment. That apartment, that 1-bedroom apartment. The closet was a walk-in closet, and it had shelves all around it, and it was just. I just loved it. Anyway, and so sometimes I would go in there, and he got mad at me one time, and I went in there and closed the door. Why you keep closing the door every time you go into? Because I want to close the door. Like, relax, get away from me. Anyway, so this particular day, so I'm in there, and I started watching. I was flipping through the channels, right? Had cable, flipping through these channels, and I seen this movie. And it just caught my attention, right? And it was an African-American movie. It was and Vivica Fox was in it. And Cynthia Bailey, the model, her, the one that was on, I think she back, on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Her ex-husband, Leon, played in this movie. And so, I think I caught it not far from the beginning. Yeah, I did. No, I think I caught it right at the beginning because I was able to follow along the whole thing. And so I started watching it, and then he came in and stood in the doorway. Now, because I know how he is, I could, without even looking up at him, I knew what he was getting ready to do. He was getting ready to come in there and complain again because I was sitting there laying there watching TV, minding my business. Okay, but the movie caught his attention too. So what happened was, and I'm gonna tell you what the movie was about. So he stood there for a couple minutes, and he started watching, and then he sat down with me, and then we ended up watching the whole movie together, right? And so now I'm about to tell you what the movie is, because I got to tell you what the new movie was about, so you'll understand the next thing that happened was when I had turned to ask them, like, wow, that was crazy, what you think about this movie? Okay, so now let me tell you what the movie was about. And I just looked up the movie again the other day. If I forget it as I'm talking to y'all, because I keep calling it Closer, but it's not called Closer. I looked it up the other day and I found it, but by the time y'all see this, I'll have it. It'll be right there. If I'm forgetting it. Okay, what's the movie? See, I forgot it again. But I think it starts with a C. I could be wrong. The movie probably starts with a D. But I don't know, for whatever reason I kept thinking it was called Closer. But like I said, I'll have the name of it for, in case you want to check it out. So the movie is about down low married men. Okay, basically, in a short synopsis. But what happens is, see, well, I don't want to ruin it. We'll listen, not because for the sake of my story, I gotta tell you what it's about. So what happens is there's a African American couple, right? Married couple, and they have a little girl, and they went on like a family date in the beginning, in the start of the movie, and it was like I think like ice skating or something like that, out and about. And then the little girl wanted some ice cream or some chips or something like that, and the husband gave the wife his wallet to go get the child something to get what she wanted, right? And so, if I'm not mistaken, I think he talked on the phone while she was gone too, and I think that's why he had her do it, if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on that. So, but while she was gone, when she went to go pay for the food, she opened the wallet and seen a condom. And you know what I'm saying, naturally, like a wife, you know, like, we married, we don't use no condoms, why you got a condom in your wallet type thing. So, you know, of course, immediately, you know, she has thoughts of him, of infidelity. And so, and naturally so. And so, fast forward, she has a best friend, and the best friend is Vivica Fox, right? And so she's venting to the best friend about what she saw and everything. And so the best friend was like, you know, I forgot it. I don't know if she said approach him about it or ask him about it or whatever. But what she did say was she attends this Bible study. And, you know what I'm saying, maybe you go to this Bible study, and get some encouragement. Maybe that'll help you on what you should do or whatever. And so she agreed to go. And the Bible study leader, the leader of the Bible study was Patti LaBelle. I forgot she was in it too. And so, but while she's there, there's another young lady that's sitting like adjacent from them. She's not like within the crowd, but she's there. But she's kind of like spaced off, like look like she's really oppressed and depressed about something, and also like don't want to be bothered with her and anybody that's there. And so I think the wife asked about her, or maybe Vivica just volunteered and said, girl, she got some stuff going on with her, like how women gossip or whatever, like she crazy or whatever, she don't talk to nobody, blah blah blah, woo woo. Something along the lines of that, to that just. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but that's what I can remember. And so, but then at the end when they were leaving, the young lady that was sitting off to herself came up to the wife and handed her a key, a hotel key. And she said, go to this hotel, blah, 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 on this date, blah blah blah, at this certain time, blah blah blah. And that's all she said, and she left. I believe that, like I literally believe that's all she said, and she left. And so of course the wife was like, what, you know what I'm saying? But fast forward, you know what I'm saying, so I won't make this video too long. She ends up going after much, at first she wasn't gonna go. Matter of fact, I think Vivica was telling her, like, girl, you better go, And so when she walks, she goes. And when she goes into the hotel, the way I don't know what kind of hotel this was, but the way the hotel was set up, you didn't even have, typically you gotta go in and you gotta turn to the right or something like that, and then you open the door to the bathroom. Nah, this hotel had everything was like an open floor concept, so she can look from where she's standing and look straight ahead and see the shower. The shower was a see-through shower, right? And so it was almost like it seemed like it was in the middle of the apartment, if I can remember. She ain't like opened up no bathroom door or nothing. Like she's seen it, she's seen it straight ahead. And in the shower was her husband and Leon, Cynthia Bailey ex-husband. So Leon was playing the gay lover in this movie, the husband's gay lover in this movie. And so they soaping each other up in the I mean, like a whole couple, you know what I'm saying? It was undeniable what she saw, ain't no way. So she like, oh I forgot too, she came with a gun. Now that part I can't remember. I don't remember why she came with it. I don't know if it was just protecting because she didn't know what she was going to see or whatever. And she had the gun in her hand, remember, and her hand was shaking. And I want to say she pointed it. Again, if you go watch it yourself, because I don't want to mess it up for you. But I think she pointed it, but of course she didn't. She ended up not pulling the trigger. But she ended up like, gasping, and then the lover, Leon, seen her first before he did, and he turned and looked at her with a smirk like, yeah, I got your man. It's crazy, right? And then finally the husband looked over and he's like, oh my God, of course he screams and runs out the shower, grabs the towel and runs after her, but she leaves. So there's some other stuff, like I said, that happened. Like I said, I don't want to make this video too long, share the whole entire thing, but basically, long story short, the lady that gave the hotel key to the wife was Leon's, I keep calling him Leon, but his name not Leon, his real name Leon. The lover, Leon, that was his wife. And she had contacted HIV from him and the shenanigans that he was doing with men. So that's why she was off, to herself, looking all crazy and stuff like that, because she was. And then she ended up murdering him, and I think killing herself, the wife that had the AIDS. And then the other wife, the one that found her husband doing what he was doing, she ended up leaving him. And in the movie too, it gives like these little segments of showing how the down low men know another man is down low, or you know what I'm saying, or with the shenanigans, you know what I'm saying. It's like this certain look they do. Is it called look? Don't, never mind. Skip that. It's a kind of look and stuff they do. It explains how they know. Now, so we get to the end of the movie. Like I said, the wife left him, and he was begging for her to stay and everything. Oh, she found out she was HIV. Her and her daughter were HIV negative as well, and then she left. So I turned to my. So now getting to the part where I turn to my ex-husband and look at him and be like, you know, I said, wow, you know, that was because I ain't never seen a movie like that in my life up until that point. I ain't never seen. I was like, yo, that was crazy. I was like, wow, what do you think about that? That was wild. And I noticed him too, because remember I said he had stopped and started watching in the doorway and then sat down, and he was like captivated. Like, I mean, it's like he ain't looked nowhere else the whole entire rest of the movie. Like, he was like, it's what they call it, tunnel vision on that movie, right? So hold on to that. And so yeah, so that's when I said, I was like, so what you think about this movie? Like, that was crazy. You know what he said to me? Out of that whole movie, he said, why did he leave her? I mean, why did she leave him? Why did the wife leave him? I'm sorry. What? What do you mean? Why did the wife leave? You just saw a husband and a wife where the wife found the husband soaping and showering romantically like a whole heterosexual couple with this dude in the shower. Found out that the woman that gave you the key, gave the wife the key, was the wife to the lover who gave her HIV. And her husband was sleeping with him. And you asking me why the wife leave? Not even trying to be animated. I'm serious. I was like, are you really asking me this question? Like, the fact that you just seen two dudes in the shower romantically, that part right there. He ain't mentioned none of that. None of that. Not the HIV, not the whole showing you how dudes be down low and they know another dude is down low. You know what I'm saying? Little tricks with the eye or whatever. How they look at each other. You ain't mentioned none of that. You asked me why she left him. So I don't even remember how the conversation ended right there. I think I just said something like, I mean, she's supposed to leave him. Like, what you know, what was she supposed to do? And so now, fast forward the very next day, right? The rest of the evening, he did act a little quiet or whatever, but I ain't really think a whole lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Cause I just thought he was just a weird anyway with a lot of the things that he said to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just thought he was just like off sometimes anyway. So I just, you know what I'm saying? I just was like, wow, that was a wild movie, dismiss it. And I ain't think nothing of it no more. So the next day, the very next day, he's getting ready to get into the shower. But he comes and stands in the doorway again, right? And this time I was on my cell phone. So he called my name. And I know when he calls my name when he's like serious about something, or if he just randomly just talking about stuff. But the way he said it, I could hear it in his voice. He was concerned, like he was serious with the way he said my name. And then I looked up at him I had my phone in my hand. I looked up at him and I was like, yeah, what's up? He was like, I need to talk to you. And I was like, all right, cool. So I put my phone down. I was like, what's up? He was like, he got quiet. And he stood there for a few seconds. So then I'm looking at him like, and then he says, I got something to tell you. I said, okay, what is it? He said, if I tell you, you're going to divorce me. So I said, what you mean I'm going to divorce you? Like, well, what is it? And so he was like, he looked down again. He looked down, and then he looked back at me again, and then he said, if I tell you, you're going to divorce me. I said, what is it? He looked down, and then he looked back up at me again, and then he said, if I tell you, you're going to divorce me. So now I'm irritated, right? So I'm like, okay, did you run over a small child or something? Like, what is it? Like, because, you know, you now I'm like, okay, you're being dramatic, but I'm anxious, though, because I can see it on his voice. Excuse me. I can see the concern on his face. I can hear it in his voice, but he not telling me what it is. He just saying, if I tell you, you're going to divorce me. But then, immediately, the thought went back to the movie. And because I am a black woman, okay, judge me not, okay, this hand went to this hip, this neck went to this roll, and I said, I know you ain't about to tell me you sleeping with some man. And he said, he stopped, he looked at me and he stopped and he said, no. So then I said, what is it? I think that's when I said something about, did you run over a small child? Like, I wasn't even trying to be funny. I was just trying to get to what it was that he was trying to tell me. And then he said, never mind. It's nothing you or anybody can do. This was his words, and I quote, it's nothing you or anybody can do. Just pray for me. And then he turned around and went and walked into the shower. Now, I have to this day not labeled my ex-husband as a homosexual because I don't like to put labels on people that have not confessed or like come out, you know, or confessed that of what they've been doing. Like, if you still, like, you know, I guess what they call in the closet or whatever, or, you know, you still haven't, you know what I'm saying, or if you don't identify yourself as a homosexual, or I just don't like to do that. But the Lord would later reveal to me the truth, and I'll just leave it at that. So, but you got to stay tuned for that, okay? Because that's a few more episodes, not far, but a few more episodes away. That's it for this episode. If you are not a subscriber, I would encourage you to subscribe and like and share. Yeah, just stay tuned and give me a drop a line below if you can relate to anything that I've said in this video, or if you've seen this video, if you've seen this movie that I'm talking about, and I will have the name for you, I promise. I just looked it up the other day. If you would like to check it out. It's a very informative movie. You know what I'm saying? It's not, I'm not giving the movie to be like a busybody or whatever. No, it's like the movie, if you were ever green to the homosexual community, this movie will open your eyes to it. Let me just put it like that. It will open your eyes. And I know I gave the gist of the movie, but I had to because of my story, you know, what I had to tell you, the follow-up. So, yeah, that's it. I love you, but know that God loves you more. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.